happy to say that someone is out in the same car, which means I didn't damage it in any way at all.
Oh, too early. Yes, too early. Yes, too much.
Well, it is nearly 5 o'clock in the morning, and for about the last 2 hours, jet lag has decided that I am done with sleep for tonight.
So, Chad, how many hours are we up to?
Well, I pressed go when I left home, and here we go. We've just ticked over 34 hours of travel.
34 hours.
And here we are, door to door.
Which would be completely fine. I mean, it's not as if I've got to drive something really fast and really expensive on a racetrack tomorrow, is it? In fact, in a matter of hours.
Okay, probably time to come clean. Molly was obviously not going to let me off the hook for an agreement that we have previously promised each other if it wasn't for something pretty special, and hopefully this is special enough for you. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. We've just arrived at the Circuito Monte Blanco in Spain, near Seville. We are here for a Ferrari event, and I cannot wait to tell you and show you exactly what it is that we're going to be driving, because I can't quite believe it myself. The reason I haven't let slip what the car is yet is because until I was actually standing here and looking at the car with my own two eyes, I simply wasn't going to believe what we're here to drive. It's this. The Ferrari Challenge 296. And there's a number of them if we have a look around.
For more than 30 years, the Ferrari Challenge has allowed Prancing Horse fans a way to hit the track in a bona fide Ferrari race car and in an authentic wheel-to-wheel racing series. It started with the 348 in 1993 with a factory-built racing version of the mid-engine V8 coupe, and it's continued ever since. 8 generations later, we have this, the Ferrari 296 Challenge. It takes a lot of what makes up the 296 GTS and GTB road cars and promptly puts it all in the bin. More power, less weight, massive downforce, clever aero, cutting-edge electronics, and an air-conditioned cabin full of scaffolding. In fact, the thing that's most closely related to the road-going 296 is this car's price. So what you're looking at here is one of the greatest off-the-shelf track cars money can buy, but at a price, in Ferrari terms at least, that's a bit of a bargain. So here I am in Spain before the first 296 Challenge has hit the racetrack in anger anywhere in the world, and Ferrari has thrown me the keys. How will a 700 horsepower, 1300 kilo mid-engine racer go in the hands of a complete novice? Spoiler alert, there are no keys.
Good to go? Yeah.
Before I'm allowed behind the wheel of the Challenge myself, former F1 test driver Luca Filippi shows me a few laps of Monte Blanco and how it should be done. You should know that getting a hot lap with an ace driver at the start of a track day is highly unusual, as it instills a dangerous sense of confidence or ambition in experienced drivers, and that often ends just one way. But for this particular inexperienced driver, it had the right effect. The realization that today, mistakes would be very, very easy to make, a dawning sense of reality, and fear.
So as you can probably tell from my helmet head, I just had my first lap. 3 laps actually of Monte Blanco. Far out, there's a lot to learn here. There is a lot to learn. Well, there's a couple of corners where I can just see they look the same, and I'm worried I'm going to get caught out thinking I'm somewhere that I'm not. But I'm told, quote, it's friendly, which I'm very happy to hear, because it means in the hands of a complete klutz like me, having never driven anything quite like it, probably not going to end the day early. Anyway, first 3 laps in the bag, the next few are with me at the wheel, so wish me luck.
drive, you can press the red button on the wheel.
You can keep it in third here, as the best of the torque of the engine is on the bottom. Perfect. Give a braking down to third, trail the brake in the corner. Very good. We'll go afterward, gas off, excellent, and track it out, back on power. The car is very sensible to the weight balance, so if you get in the corner with a little bit of brake pressure, it always helps you to have a better directionality. Wide open in exit. Good. Here we'll do just gas off, no need to brake. Excellent. Trail the brake and try to keep a little bit in the middle. That's much better.
I always forget that, thank you. I really need that reminder.
Alright, try to have a lane turn in here. Just gas off. In and let it go. Very good.
Better, not quite perfect. Thank you again for your instructions. Like, it's
No problem.
really clear, and like there's a lot to think about, and you're really easy to understand.
Yeah, especially when you're, on a new car. There's so many things going on, and
a new circuit as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing though. I mean, what an incredible car. I mean, I know I'm only getting probably 30% out of the car itself, but it's still for someone who doesn't know what they're doing. There's a lot to get out of it.
All right, so the update, the helmet head update is looking great. I've got the real pro look down pat, I think now, but I've just had my first stint in the car, and I'm very happy to say that someone is out in the same car, which means I didn't damage it in any way at all. So first milestone is ticked. My God, there's still so much to learn in that car. Just getting it around the track, learning all the corners is the biggest challenge. Yeah, I feel like we might be able to get somewhere today. From being utterly terrified first thing this morning to having a little bit of confidence now, we're getting somewhere. We've got 2 more sessions to go. So now it's the most utterly addictive thing I think I've ever done behind the wheel of a car, and I can't wait to get back in. Seem to have stumbled across a Ferrari Challenge 296 car unattended in the wild, so now it's probably a good time to give you a quick walk around of some of the features that make this car different to the road version. The front end is probably a good place to start because, as you can see, there is a lot going on here. So everywhere you look, there is aero, these extra little louvers and things at the side, more air vents, more ram air. And you can tell because there's this. Now, obviously you don't get that on a road car. These vents here are to increase the airflow to the completely rearranged radiator layout. This front end has a totally different front end radiator layout to the road car. But this final vent at the back here is the most interesting one, because that is the exit of what they call the S duct. And what that does is it takes air from in underneath, channels it in a sort of gooseneck shaped duct up to the top here, and that generates such a significant vacuum on the surface of the road that some of the drivers have reported marbles being sucked off of the road and blasted over the top at following cars, which is a nice little defense strategy. While we're here, what's this? Something you don't see every day, a convoy of 5 Ferrari Challenge cars. Where were we? Talking around the one we've got here in the pits. So next up is, let's talk about the brakes. So you're probably not surprised to hear that we've got full carbon ceramic brakes on this car, but they're different to the previous Challenge car. The compound of that brake disc is different, which means it is far, far longer lasting without compromising brake performance. Now, it's so long lasting that Ferrari says that you can probably get away with using this vehicle for an entire series, 5 races, without changing those carbon ceramic rotors, which will make a big difference to the budget. The panels are a combination of plastic and aluminium. Now, the way that differs from previous Challenge cars is they had a lot of carbon fibre in them, which was expensive if you give them a tap, a bit of a love tap out on the circuit. Now, for GT3 cars, that's not such a problem, where outright weight is your main concern, but here budget is a bit more important. So yeah, plastic and aluminium panels, a little bit more affordable to replace if you have a little bit of a disagreement with another car on track. In there is, you probably know already, a 2.9 litre twin turbo V6 engine. But if you look down the back there are some notable orange chunks missing, and that is because one of the most significant things about this vehicle is that the hybrid system has been gutted out of it. So it is purely combustion powered. Most amazingly though, is it is still around about 700 horsepower of power. Haven't yet found out exactly where they extract that extra horsepower from, but in combination with its light weight, 700 horsepower, this thing is significantly more rapid than the road car. You can also see along the back here this amazing lightweight mesh that shows off the completely redesigned exhausts. So they are noisier, they are less restrictive. You've also got bits and pieces like the towing points and a more skeletal rear air dam. Evidence everywhere that this thing has been heavily modified for the circuit. And finally, let's talk about this ridiculous rear spoiler. Might look ridiculous, but in its function, it is not so. This car can generate up to just under 900 kilos of downforce at 250 kilometers an hour. So it is a very serious bit of equipment. Most amazingly though, it costs about the same as the standard road car. So take your pick. Me, for one, I'll just have one of each, if that's all right. On the inside, there is a lot going on as well. Significantly different to the street machine, but also a lot of things that remain that do remind you this is based on a production road car. There's no interior that remains from the road car, which means you can see a lot of the structural changes. There's a lot of reinforcement bracing that's going on the inside to the structure, and also this obvious roll cage which is bolt in. So you can swap it very easily if there's any damage, or if you wanted to make any other modifications to the car. Not that you're allowed, because obviously this is a one-make series, but you do get carbon fibre dashboard, which is optional in the road car. You also get this Alcantara wrap dashboard. The badging is different on this one because obviously it is the challenge car. Integrated fire extinguisher system, good to know with me driving it. And you can see, this is one of my favourite things, you can see all the guts of this car. The rear window has been removed for obvious reasons, don't need to see what's going on behind you so much. And once again, that roll cage everywhere. This one has an intercom system, which is excellent. It doesn't have a passenger seat in it, you'll see, but you can have one of these with a passenger seat, and if that's the case, you can communicate with your co-driver. And then some of the other obvious differences you'll find down here. So here we have one of the main control panels, obviously all the ignition business up here. Then you have, it has air conditioning, windscreen wipers obviously, and your brightness for all the instrument display. Reverse is a push button. So that's some fairly conventional stuff. The unconventional stuff you'll find on the steering wheel. Now this steering wheel carries over from the 488 Challenge car. The feedback from all the drivers and users was it was so good that there are no changes necessary, so what you see is unchanged. Radio comms button here, flash your headlights, windscreen wash, you've got pit speed limit, and these two Manatino dials. So the one on the left essentially scrolls you through 4 driving modes. It's very simplistic to say it, but it's essentially, without going into too much detail, 2 wet weather modes and 2 dry weather modes. And then the one on the right basically controls the sensitivity of those modes once you're in them. So yeah, it can alter the amount of traction control you have within those drive modes. Finally, the most important one for me is obviously the drink button, which is going to get used as soon as the driving is finished today. Also, another thing I'll point out is this. Every car is fitted with a V-Box that has integrated cameras and also all the telemetry logging, and that is one of the key things with this vehicle. It allows you to go back over your driving performance in unbelievable detail with all your traces of what you've been doing with your braking and your throttle, G-forces, etc. That is one of the key things with this car that allows drivers to improve and look at what they're doing on the track, and that's exactly what I've been doing today. Thank you so much. So it wasn't bad.
It was good.
Okay, yeah, right.
It was good. It was good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Oh, thank God for that.
Really good.
And braking. Give me a late turn in. Release it. Close the wheel. Open it up now gradually. Go a little deeper here. Braking, downshift. Release. Good. Keep it tight. Good. And let's go. Okay, make sure you don't overshoot this braking. Brake it down. Modulate. Trail the brake into the corner. Back on power. Very good. Better. Upshift. Gas off. And go. Let's go braking a little deeper here. Brake it down. Trail the brake. Trail the brake. Come off. Close the wheel. Good.
Yes.
That's better.
Way better.
Good. Attack more the curb. Open up. Let's go. Gas off here. In. Back on power. Okay. Release it. Don't rush on power. Be smooth. Okay. Stay on gas a little bit. Stay on gas. Stay on gas. Open up the wheel and go. Braking. Good. Be patient. And go now. Excellent. Oh. Very good.
Thank you. So much to think about. Thank you.
And just like that, one day with the Ferrari 296 Challenge was over. Nerves shredded, mind blown, and I pulled into the pits for the last time, full of relief and sadness in equal parts.
What a day. What a day.
Well, that's it. 15 laps of this track in the Ferrari Challenge 296. In a nutshell, a very educational experience. I've learnt so much today. This thing is phenomenal. I'm only scratching the surface on what it can do. It's super fast, super responsive. The feedback you get from it is just wonderful. The noise is sensational. I can see why Ferrari unofficially call this engine the baby V12 or Piccolo V12. I'm certainly not claiming to be any kind of like star at the wheel. Molly would completely wipe the floor with me on a day like today, as you don't need me to tell you. But it has been an unbelievably good day, an unforgettable experience, and like, honestly, a bit of an emotional experience. It's really been that cool to get in something so visceral and high performance. And the only thing left to do now is really hit that button on the steering wheel that says, drink. That is the third and final session for the morning over and done with. As you can see, the car is still looking as good as it did the moment we started this morning. Oh, I did another one, that was shit.